Live.
Cool. Hey guys, welcome to Project Metal Music's YouTube channel, and with your host Elion, and we are here with Sean Peck. So welcome, Sean.
Thank you for having me on this wonderful Friday.
Cool, cool. So could you introduce yourself and what you do?
My name is Sean Robert Livingston Peck, also known as the Hell Destroyer in some circles. I am a singer. I sing in the band Cage, which has been around since 1992 from San Diego, California. Death Dealer, which has Ross the Boss, Stu Marshall, Mike LaPond, Steve Bolognese in it. The Three Tremors, which is me, Ripper Owens, Carrie Conklin from Jag Panzer, all three singing at the same time, with Cage as the backing band. And then I also dabble around with the old band Warrior, Fighting for the Earth fame, and had a stint with Michael Denner and Hank Sherman of Merciful Fate, where we did two releases on Metal Blade. And that is me, Sean Peck. That is what I do. That is who I am right now.
Cool, cool. So let's dive into some questions. As a kid, what were you listening to?
Well, I was kind of a late bloomer into heavy metal. I mean, I think my first favorite song was Bye Bye Miss American Pie. Drove my Chevy to the, whoever the hell that dude was. And then I liked Fleetwood Mac, and then it was the Bee Gees, and then it was like Casey Kasem's Top 40, what was on the radio, which is now known as Yacht Rock Radio. Um, then I got into like Flock of Seagulls, Blondie, The Cars, um, that kind of Duran Duran. And then it was the song You Can't Kill Rock and Roll off the Diary of a Madman album that really grabbed my attention and just sent me down this life path where heavy metal would consume my every waking moment. I mean, who knew that it would go this way?
Yeah, yeah. It was Don McLean for the American Pie. Yeah. The song that you wrote. Yeah, that day sung there. So yeah. So who actually got you into music? Was it a family member or somebody from school
Uh,
or?
no, it was a friend, and then after that, it was like, hey, check out this band Judas Priest, and like my first Judas Priest record was Defenders of the Faith. So like that's cool when you discover a new band that you like, and they already have this discography. You get to go back and listen to all these killer records. So that the Defenders of the Faith album is still probably my favorite Judas Priest record. Judas Priest, I would say, is my favorite band. And uh, then that just snowballed into Testament and Wasp and Metal Church and of course Iron Maiden, and then even all the the hair metal bands. I love Dokken, Rat, Helix, Kicks, Black and Blue, like all that stuff. And now I kind of composite like all those things into what I do now. It's I like it's like Painkiller on steroids, but they all have hooks that I kind of took from the Dawkins and and that kind of stuff. So um it's if you put all that into a blender, into a salad bowl, that's kind of what you got with me. And Halford, I wanted to hearing his voice set me on a whole. I didn't want to take the time to learn how to play guitar. I mean, that just seemed like it was way too much work to learn how to play guitar. I'm like, I'll just be a singer. I had no singing experience, didn't know if I could sing or not. And I just next thing I'm like, oh my god, I can sing this. I can sing like Judas Priest, and here I am, having opened for all those bands, and I had posters on my wall, and just if you put your mind to it, you can make some dreams come true, and it's been a good run so far.
Yeah, cool. Yeah. So actually, who actually inspired you to become a singer? Was it Talford or was it Bruce Dickinson or?
Yeah, I mean, I just love the music and the whole heavy metal thing, and I was always like the class clown, making funny voices in class and stuff, and then of course I'd be running around my room air guitaring and then screaming my head off, and then when I went to college, there was a band playing. They didn't have a singer, and I just went up there and started fucking around, and then they're like, "Well, why don't you be the singer in our band?" I'm like, I could try, and then I didn't realize how hard being a singer is when you're trying to sing this kind of music, and then pushing the limits. I pushed the vocal limits as far as the human voice can go now. So it was just that the the thrill of performing is it's a really powerful drug, and it's really enjoyable, especially when you have if you when you've got a superpower like kind of what I have. It's yeah, I love comic books, so I couldn't be a superhero. This is the closest I could become, is to dressing up in a costume and screaming at the top of my lungs. So there you go.
Yeah, cool. Yeah. So um, you mentioned some of the bands you've been in and you are in. Yeah, but was there any other bands prior to what you're doing now?
Yeah, there was like the college band was called Tax Evasion, and we would play a bunch of cover songs, and then we bust out like the Trooper in the middle of like this really college mellow set, and like all the girls would hate it, and there'd be like five drunk dudes banging their head. Then I went into my first real metal band called Nomad, um, which I wish I would have kept that band name. I love that band name because I think that's a sick metal band name, and that went for a while, and then that broke up, and then the remnants of that became Cage, which in 1992, and we're still going strong today, 30 years later.
Cool, cool. So what has your projects been up to, in especially over the last 2 years or so?
Well, yeah, if we start like Death Dealer, we put out the Conquered Lands album, which was our third record, and then just did an EP a few months ago called Fuel Injected Suicide Machine. That run over really well. It sold good, and people liked it. And Death Dealer, we're looking to we haven't played in a long time, so we're looking to maybe do some live stuff next year. We have a fourth album already done, and a fifth album almost done. So we have tons of Death Dealer material. Cage is working on a new record. We haven't put out a record since 2014, primarily because we've been doing a lot with the Three Tremors. We put out two Three Tremors records, and the most recent one, Guardians of the Void, went over really good. I think the first Three Tremors record was a bit too much for people. People were just scared of it. We realized how many pussies there were still left in heavy metal, unfortunately. And the new album, much better received by the press. And we did a United States tour on that new record, November 2021. So now we have some shows coming up in November 2022 here on the West Coast of the United States and in Mexico, where we're going to do some Three Tremors stuff and some Ripper Owens solo stuff, a whole bunch of different mixtures. Because the Cage band is the backing band for Ripper when he comes out to the West Coast. So they're going to be doing double duty, playing the Three Tremors set. We're playing a Cage show, and it's going to be great. There's a lot of and then Ripper Owens just took the Cage drummer to be in KK's Priest, and so it's a big amalgamation of people and bands, and so there's going to be some live stuff, and we're new Death Dealer album, new Cage album. I don't know if we're doing another Three Tremors album. We haven't really gone down that road yet, but it's always a possibility. And then I'm working with some stuff with some of the guys in Merciful Fate and King Diamond to maybe put together another project kind of in that vein. So yeah, a lot going on, man. It's fun.
Cool, cool. Death Taylor, as you just mentioned, Death Taylor there, with the album, Fuel Injected Suicide Machine. Could you tell us a little bit about that?
Um, yeah, Fuel Injected Suicide Machine was we basically took four songs from the fifth album, so we haven't even released the fourth album yet. But we went ahead of that into the future, took four songs off the fifth album, and made an EP out of it, basically, because management thought we should put out an. I've never done an EP, but I'm like, all right, what the fuck? So we already had the songs done, so we put it out, and we even made vinyls of it, and did some cool pre-order packages, and it sold really well, and it's got a couple really fast songs on it. I don't know if you've heard it, but you should check it out. It's got two fast tracks and two like mid-tempo tracks, and they're kind of like they were probably four of the best tracks we had for the fifth album. So you got it in advance even before the fourth album. So it's kind of weird how we did it, but we had Stu Marshall, the guitar player from Australia, and I had written so much material and recorded so much. I mean, I did like 80 songs from 2020 to 2021 in the lockdown period. I mean, we just wrote and recorded just a shit ton of stuff. So, yeah, so it's just good for metal fans because they got just killer screaming speed metal coming their way, and it's all bless you, good lord.
Jeez.
And so yeah, and it was kind of based on the Mad Max movies, the artwork and the theme. We had a song called Blood for Gasoline, which fuel prices are so high we did not know that was going to be like a prophecy when we wrote that song. And the title track, Fuel Injected Suicide Machine. Then we got a song on there about Genghis Khan, and then another song that Ross really loves called Riding on the Wings, I think, kind of a jet fighter kind of thing. But they're four, super solid tracks. Everybody loved it, and it did real well.
Yeah, cool, cool. Got a question coming. Wait, it's more of a comment, more of a comment type of thing, which probably which is sort of like I did sort of like place to for the next question, but is got a question coming from Quezzo Burger Food Reviews. And they said, can't wait for the Dragon Rogo Fest in Tijuana.
Yeah, that's going to be cool. Grim Reaper was supposed to play that. Unfortunately, Steve passed away. Steve, sat in with us on a tour as one of the Three Tremors and replaced Harry. So I got to know him for a couple weeks, and we performed, I don't know, 15 shows together. So that's kind of a shame, but yeah, it's a big festival in Tijuana, Mexico. We're honored to be part of it. Cage is playing it. The Three Tremors are playing it. Ripper Owens is doing a solo set on it. Riot, some death metal bands. Ross the Boss now has been added, so it'll be a fun one. Some good, and then some of those bands are also playing in Los Angeles a couple nights before. I think we're going to try and do "See You in Hell" as a tribute to Steve Grimmett there. So we're working on that, and yeah, we love playing in Mexico. Mexico is a great fans, great metalheads. I love the Mexican people, so that's definitely looking forward to that one.
Quezzo Burger also says Dying Fetus too.
Yeah, Dying Fetus. I gotta look at the flyer again. I don't have them all memorized.
Yeah. So so what's their plans for like doing tours? What's the plans for like doing any gigs? You mentioned something about doing something tonight.
Got for a local show tonight. First Cage gig in a long time. And the funny thing is, we're only doing like three original Cage songs. The rest are doing a bunch of Judas Priest shit and Fight and some Black Sabbath and shit. I don't know why we did it like this, but um, we're only playing I think four Cage songs, which is the first time that's ever happened. So I don't know. Tonight's just going to be a fun night. It'll be good to get back on the stage and fuck around, and looking forward to it. And yeah, Death Dealer's working on maybe a Japan tour next year, which would be really cool. I've never played Japan yet. It's kind of on the bucket list thing. And also, we have a bunch of irons in the fire. Next year there should be a lot of live action. There'll be, I'll have two or three releases next year, and there's a lot of Death Dealers. There's Death Dealer as far as the eye can see. Definitely a new Cage record. New Cage record. We have like 20 songs written, but we're trying to make it amazing. So that's part of the process. So yeah, still
Cool, cool.
grinding on
So,
it. I'm singing pretty good for my age, for my advanced age. I think I'm still hitting the highest notes of any singer going right now. I think I've got the highest super scream out of all of them. So if there's any challengers out there, if you want to go and Google highest longest metal scream on YouTube, and you'll see a little clip off the new Death Dealer app that I got in there. That's really cool.
yeah, cool, cool. So, would you, whether it be Death Dealer's Cage or Three Tremors, or is there any chance of about coming over to the UK or to Europe to do any tours?
Yeah, yeah. There's a bunch of you never say anything till it's done. I mean, we finally did a UK tour with the Tremors, which I hadn't toured the UK before, and there was some good shows. There was some not so good shows, but I enjoyed meeting all the people, and uh, it was It was snowing in Scotland like a blizzard, like 3 feet of snow. We went over there. That was in I think November 2019. That was when those series of storms were hitting the UK, and they were really like disaster level events. So we're in there, and we're watching the news, like the entire island is going to be sank by these storms. We're like, what the fuck? So it was wild. And then I think we all got COVID in November 2019 before anyone even knew what COVID was. We had COVID before it was cool, so to speak. And so yeah, it was a wild time out there in the UK.
Yeah. Got a question from, and I hope if I've pronounced your name wrong, I do apologise. Slawata, they ask, when are you coming to South Germany again?
Hey, 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 South Germany. I mean, I've only played Munich once. That's a good question. We have, like I said, there's a bunch of possibilities. We're talking about doing. There's maybe some Tremor stuff. Maybe we're going to do another Cage tour because when we put this album out, we might we might try and jump on with somebody and do a Cage tour, a real a real big blowout. Um, but yeah, we got lots of music coming, man. So, and all of our friends in South Germany. My family's from Baden-Baden. If he's listening there, because I'm heavy German lineage, and so South Germany is definitely I got tons of family there. So we want to go everywhere, but it's always tricky. It's the economics of it, and uh, you know timing with everybody now, because everybody now is in so many fucking bands. My drummer's in KK's Priest and Ross the Boss, and I've got shit going on, and but we'll make it happen. I'm sure next year we'll be over to Europe.
Cool, cool. Question again asks, will Sean Peck be at Wacken 2023 with one of your thousands of bands you're in?
I'd like to play the Bakken. I mean, we did it in 2002, and I haven't been back for Bakken for 20 years. I was there a couple of years ago with my guitar player's band won the Battle of the Bands, and they played it. And I went with him, and then we did a festival. We headlined a festival in Spain with the Tremors. I got to get these booking agents to get off their ass and get us on the Bakken. Man, Bakken, if you're not playing it, it is such a zoo. I don't know, man. Like when I was there, I was just like, this, you can't even, unless you're gonna just fight your ass through 50,000 people to get up even remotely close to where you can see the bands. It's a fucking tough hang. I don't know, man. Maybe I'm just getting old. Maybe just because I'm
Yeah,
getting old, but playing it does still sound fun.
yeah. I was going to say I've seen some of the video. I've never been, but I've seen some of the videos. And all you see is just a sea of people in front of the stage.
Well, the queso burger. I can tell you that I'm working on a band with Pete Black and Michael Denner, and some other big names related to that situation. I guess Denner kind of leaked it, but we do have some stuff working, and that would definitely be a band that the Bakken would want to see.
Yeah. Slowwather says, thanks. We'll see you again.
Thanks for the support, Queso Burger Food Reviews.
And let me see. Yes, Pat Ellsworth says, "What's up, Sean?"
Pat, are you coming to the show tonight, dude? We're playing Into the Pit by Fight, Painkiller, a bunch of Judas Priest. So we're like a Judas Priest cover band tonight. I hope to see you there, man. That's a local super super great metalhead.
He says, "See you tonight in Oceanside."
Oh hell yeah, hells yeah, very cool.
So yeah. Where can people find you on social media? Have you got websites? Have
They
you got
can
are you on
they can
Facebook,
go, yeah.
Instagram?
My OnlyFans page. My OnlyFans page. Just kidding. I don't have an OnlyFans page. Uh, yeah, it's I mean, get your pens and pencils out. Oh, cageheavymetal.com, deathdealermetal.com, the3tremors.com. And the easy one is steelcartel.com. That's my own record label that we put all that stuff out on. Steel Cartel, SteelCartel.com. And there's links to get everywhere. And then, we're on all the social medias. We always answer everybody on the social medias. And then if you on Instagram, mostly I'm on Hell Destroyer Comics. That's where I do most of my good Instagram work. But we have Instagram pages for the bands too. So yeah, man, thanks for the support, and get a hold of us. And one of the things, if people don't know, is like we don't put our music on Spotify. We only put like the video songs go to Spotify. So if you ever want to hear, some of the stuff is up from before, but the new stuff, like if you want to hear the album, you actually have to buy a physical copy. We kind of just put our foot down. We're David versus Goliath fighting this battle, and our fans have been really supportive by picking up the CD or the vinyl or getting a download. So it's worked out so far.
Cool. So it's probably going to be my last question anyway. I want to know, is any advice for people who want to become a musician?
Well, most musicians always, when you ask them that question, they go, "Don't do it," is the first piece of advice. But that's already been done before. I try and keep it fresh and original. The main thing about being in music is you have to, the number one priority has have to be self-satisfaction. You have to do it because you simply enjoy doing it. And the music that you're playing is music that you personally like. The songs you write, you think are fucking great. It doesn't matter if anybody else likes it or if everybody else hates it. As long as you think it's great and you're enjoying it, that's step one. So if there's another person that actually really likes it too, that's just a bonus. Just treat that as a bonus. Being a successful musician is about as hard as becoming a successful actor, a successful author, or it's harder to do than becoming a lawyer or a doctor or a brain surgeon or an undersea welder. So you might want to have a backup gig. But if you're young and you really want to be a musician, what you have to do is you have to get in the van and play like 300 shows a year and fucking grind it every night live, and then maybe you'll catch fire. That is literally that's your best shot for being a rock and roller is get in the van and grind out those shows and play every little bar that you can. And then all of a sudden you'll get a little area and like, oh, we're hot here. And then maybe you get two areas where you're hot and that kind of stuff. So there's my Sean Peck advice. And for being a singer, advice to all you singers out there, forget all the sprays, forget the fucking lozenges, forget the shot of whiskey. None of that shit works. All you need is sleep and water. And don't trip out. Singing is like a mind game. You got to go up there not giving a fuck because your voice can, for some reason, it could just be shit one day for absolutely no reason. So you have to go up there without any tripping out mind games and just fucking go for it and not give a fuck. And that's your best. That's your best avenue for a successful singing career.
Cool. So, thank you so much, Sean, for coming on and doing this little interview.
Yeah, it was fun. Thanks for having me, and everybody who's listening. CageHeavyMetal.com, SteelCartel.com, Sean Peck, the Hell Destroyer. We had a great time.
Yeah, thank you again. It's been an absolute pleasure.
All right, man. Good luck to you. Everybody subscribe too. I just subscribed. Go to YouTube, Steel Cartel, YouTube.com/Steel Cartel. Subscribe there too, guys. All right. Take care, man.
Yeah. You too. Well, guys, thank you for coming in and supporting the channel. So, if you like what you see, please subscribe down below and hit the notification bell and do the like. It'd be much appreciated. So, thank you, guys. So, until next time, catch you later.